What do I do if my dog growls?
The first thing is I'm going to say what not to do. Don't punish the growl. Don't shout no. Um, don't shout at the dog for growling. You see this a lot on Facebook. People say don't punish the growl. Why not? Well, you don't want to take away a warning mechanism. A growl comes before a bite. If you punish the growl and take it out of the dog's repertoire, that dog may be more likely to go straight for a bite in future, which you don't want them to do. Look for early warning signs that a dog feels uncomfortable, so you can have a look on, for example, Dog Gone Safe, and look at some of the great graphics that show you what a loose, wriggly, relaxed dog looks like, and what a dog that's uncomfortable about something looks like, which tends to be more stiff and rigid. But like I say, you can go to, for example, Dog Gone Safe and have a look at some of the great resources on there if you want to learn about canine communication. So we don't punish the growl. What do we do? You work out why the dog's growling and you try and change their emotional response. You take away the reason basically for them having to growl. You help them feel happy about things. So I'm going to give you an example. This morning in class, at the end of class, a dog growled, and I have no idea what caused the growl. I think it was actually the movement of the other dogs at the end of the class. It was a busy class and I wasn't actually looking towards this dog, and the owner said that she was unsure. But I think it was the movement of the other dogs just at the end of class. Perhaps one dog just came a little bit too near or something. What did I do? Well, it was a first class and I was unsure what the owner was going to do, so I immediately shouted a very, very positive yes! And I ran towards them and I scattered some yummy treats on the floor. And the owner said, "Oh my God, you've just rewarded my dog for growling." I said, "No, what I've actually done, well, I've thanked the dog for growling. I successfully interrupted the growl. I changed the dog's emotional response to whatever had elicited the growl. The dog went from being stiff as I turned around towards the dog. He looked very stiff and rigid, to nice and loose and relaxed and wriggly, and he's picking all those treats up off the floor, and absolutely positive emotional response to my yes, and also I'm going to say to possibly whatever had caused that growl in the first place. So we were pairing in effect now these yummy treats with the movement of the other dogs. So fantastic. If that hadn't have worked, then if the dog would have continued to growl, then what I would have done next is shout, "Move away!" Distance is your friend. That's one of my favourite sayings. Move away. Remove the dog from the environment or away from the stimulus that is provoking that growl, or move away the stimulus. So if, for example, I can't move away, I'm going to ask the other person, perhaps, or the dog or whatever it is, to please move away. Okay, so either I am going to remove my dog or I'm going to ask them to remove their dog or remove themselves. We want more distance. Okay, we want to create positive associations, so again, those treats. We don't want to add a negative association, because guess what, if that owner had shouted, "No, you bad dog," guess what? She's actually saying, "God, you've got a reason to feel bad, and I'm going to make you feel even worse." So now that dog's much more likely to feel even worse about those other dogs moving around, okay? And that's not what we want. So if the dog growls, say, "Thank you." You don't have to actually say the words "thank you," but you can think "thank you," work out what's causing the growl and do something about it. Now, it could be that you need to get in touch with a certified positive dog trainer who knows all about behaviour, or a dog behaviour consultant, okay, depending on your level of knowledge, whether you can do some counter conditioning and desensitization yourself. But if not, please contact a professional. So don't punish the growl. Thank your dog for growling and work out what it is they're growling about and do something to change it so that the dog no longer feels they have to do that. So that was my example. It could be that your dog's resource guarding. If that's the case, then get some help. But what you can do is make sure that every time you approach your dog when they've got something yummy, that you actually give them something even yummier. Or you can manage the situation and only give your dog those yummy treats when they're in a room by themselves, and don't interrupt them. Just let them enjoy them. Okay? There are lots of things that you can do. It's going to depend on the situation, so I can't advise about every situation in a short video. But what I can say to you is thank you, dog, for growling, for letting you know that they feel uncomfortable, and then do something to change that. Work out what it is that they feel uncomfortable about and do something to change their response so that in future they feel comfortable about that stimulus. So for example, with the example from class, if it is the movement of the other dogs at the end of class, we can just ask this guardian to, at the end of class, to either leave first or to move further away down the training area as the other dogs begin to move. Okay, so that's all we've got to say about growling. I think it's time for us to go and get our dinner. I've got two very hungry dogs here, so that's what we're going to do. But that was just our short video about growling. Okay, ready? Thank you. Okay, bye.